Hey guys, welcome back. In this video we restore these G60 brake calipers.
Here we have the old G60 brake kit set up. So we have the calipers and the carriers. And I'll take this one apart, and here's the old bellows and the seal out of it. So they're leaking and they're just basically damaged. That's the piston I took out, and it was pretty well damaged as well. So you can buy all the repair kits online. So rather than buying a whole new caliper, you can buy just the piston itself for about £7. And you can buy the rebuild kit for about £5 each. Okay, so just after honing out the cylinder there, and it's all lovely and clean all the way in, and there's two gaps here, one at the top and one at the bottom. So the one in the bottom is a seal that actually stops the brake fluid from leaking out, and top one is the bellows that actually stops the dirt from getting in. So if you ever have sticking brakes, it's because the inside one is actually the seal, and it's after getting corroded, which is pushing the rubber tighter on the piston and making the piston harder to go in and out. So yeah, it's really important if you're rebuilding them to make them everything lovely and clean. And I have a bit of brake cleaner here to wash everything out with, and then we have a little bit of brake fluid just to wash that out again to make sure everything is just absolutely clean. Okay, now obviously before we just start to rebuild, I have given the entire thing a wire wheeling over, so it is lovely and clean, and we've removed any of the old brake dust. So to rebuild these G60 brakes, this is the piston that we're going to need, so that's the part number, and this is the rebuild kit. There's the part number bit. So there's the piston, this is the bellows, and the seal is just there as well. So the first thing we're going to do is get a little bit of oil, which is brake fluid, never W40 or anything like that. It's going to be brake fluid. And we're going to run the seal through brake fluid so it's well lubricated. Now obviously you do this with two hands, but because I have to hold the camera with the other hand, a bit difficult, but yeah. So we lubricate that up. Now what we're going to do is get the seal, and we're going to put it into the bottom groove, fold it in, get it all the way in, and hopefully it doesn't get kinked on the way in. Perfect. Next we're going to take our bellows, and we're going to just flip over our piston, slide the bellows now over the back of the piston. Go on, there we go, one-handed and everything. Now we're going to take our piston, slide it around so we have our bellows. It's going to sit like a little skirt on it, and that little skirt, the lip of it is going to sit into this little lip here. Okay, let's get it on. Okay, I might have to take you off camera. I'll be back in a second.
Okay, so I really want to know if this TikTok trend will actually work. So what you do is you take your brake piston, you have your brake bellows already on, you put a little bit of air in the side.
And the bellows
should jump up. Nope, that did not work. I blew it out. Okay, that did not work. I think my airline is locked to about 80 or 100 psi, so maybe if you reduced it down to 50 psi, it might work. But I think I'll do it the old-fashioned way of getting the boot on first.
To get the piston seated back into the caliper correctly, we're going to use a brake rewind kit. Okay, now with the seal in, the bellows on, it just got lined up. Now all I have to do is just twist it, and it should just pop in without any effort. And there it goes. Okay, now that I've wire wheeled it within an inch of its life and it's all lovely and clean, let's get some grey primer on it. Now to shut a primer, we have the calipers and the carriers all lovely and grey, so now getting ready for paint.
So now that the calipers are all painted in grey primer, the big question is, what colour was I going to paint them? Well, there are different colours, you know, you can paint them silver, you could paint them blue or yellow or fluorescent orange. But I decided, let's just paint them red. So as my brother doesn't watch the channel and he has told me not to use his paint, I use his paint, but he's never going to know because he never watches the channel, so so thanks Andrew for the paint, and I think they turned out really well.
So just painting up all of the brake calipers now. Holly the cat is here with me. So he's after getting a mouse, so he's super affectionate here at the moment, thinking that there's more mice here in the garage, but thankfully there's not. Yeah, I know. They should subscribe, I know. Holly! This is why I have cat paw prints on everything. You're a good boy. Okay, down. So from doing up the TT with red calipers and doing up the Golf with red calipers, everyone knows red calipers is 5 extra horsepower. Now that the paint is cured and gone hard, we take our lithium grease, we give each of these little holes here a shot of grease, which allows our sliders to slide in and out freely without binding. And they're rebuilt. So all I've done here now is attach the caliper to the carrier, and it's just at 13 on either side. So they're all rebuilt, so for probably about €12 each per side, I've totally rebuilt 2 G60 calipers. Now that I have these 2 G60 brakes rebuilt, let's look at the brake master cylinder. So if you want to see what my plan is to do with these 2 G60 brakes, you gotta hit subscribe to find out what happens in the next video. This is the brake master cylinder. I'm not really sure what car it's out of. It has 2 ports on this side, none on this side. However, I do need the reservoir off it. This is the brand new master cylinder that I bought. It has 4 ports out of each side. I think it's 22. However, I didn't get any reservoir with it, so I need the reservoir off this one to go into this. So gently but firmly, I pull the reservoir off this brake master cylinder. Now it's about to be put onto the new master cylinder. So just line it up and we've got to push it home. Okay, and that's now the reservoir on top of the brake master cylinder. So on this one you can see that there's no port off the side, so it's designed for not a hydraulic clutch. So that's perfect, that's what I wanted. And it has 4 ports, so I'm going to do one for each wheel. So this is my 9-inch servo which I'm going to use, and this is the brake master cylinder. You can see there is an O-ring all the way around, so just make sure you do have one there, otherwise you'll have a huge vacuum leak. Okay, now time to install. Brilliant. Let's get some nuts onto this. So if you want to see what my plan is to do with these 2 G60 brakes, you gotta hit subscribe to find out what happens in the next video.